Before we begin, a small disclaimer. This is most likely a 1/6 scale seamless female body from Jiaou doll. Now these are recommended for children 15 and up. These have anatomically correct parts on them, and in no way are these used for any sort of sex purposes. These are 1/6 scale figures. These are used for gaming industry, for modeling stuff. These are used for painters and artists to use an actual body as opposed to paying someone to do poses. You can use these. These are also great for comic book artists. You can pose these any way you want, and you can draw the comic. Thanks so much. Welcome to the Figure Zone. Today we have a Shuten Doji figure from Alpha Toys. This is K002 1/6 scale figure. Now this is a figure from the popular mobile game Fate Grand Order. And I saw this figure. I do not know anything about the game, but the figure looked frackin' awesome and is based off loosely of actual Japanese lore. So this is kind of a cool figure here. I think it'll look pretty cool in anybody's like mythical ancient figure displays going on here. So this is what you get when you open up the box. Now let's check out everything she comes with. And here we have all the accessories that Shuten Doji comes with. First off, this cool looking sword. It has like a gourd kind of thing built into it there. She, in the games, she loves the alcohol. She loves the sake. She loves the wines. So this is a little cool little thing there. She has like a gourd pretty much at the end there. Who knows what that's filled with. Over here, because she comes with two heads in this set, these are little pendants for the head there, and they're going to pop on, hopefully, somehow. I'll gotta figure that out myself in a little bit. Over here, for each one of her hands she comes with, she has little pieces there for the wrist, so you can pop these on the fingers. That's a pretty cool idea. And then each one has their own little wrist piece here for the costume. She has a bowl for her fruits and her offerings that she lures people into. We have another interesting, this is for her neck piece here. Once you pop the head off, you slide this on the ball joint, and you're going to pop the head onto this. And she has a seamless body. Not sure who the seamless body is from, if it's a Jiaou doll or a TB League, not totally sure. And here we have a nice sake bottle, a wine bottle over here. It's super detailed in this thing. This is crazy. That is very cool. Over here, she has a huge gourd. That is monstrous, and it's got freaking gold-looking spikes on the end of it. Everything is all plastic, of course, but it just looks amazing. All metallic looking, too. They did a great job on that. She also comes with a lantern over here too, and it's a clear plastic, and there's like a little tiny handle over here so she can hold that, and the handle just kind of tucks away there at the top so it doesn't get in the way if you're storing this and not using it. And she's got a bunch of different hands here. We got some fisted hands, same thing on the other side there. She has some like trigger style hands. I guess these could be for the sword also. Over here she has a lantern rolling away. She's got some expressive hands over here. And then she has some holding hands also for the sword. And possibly for the gourd too. And these things are a little bit stiff on these. You can heat these up a tiny bit, and you can make them a little bit more malleable. Same with this one. It's pretty good. You'll be able to definitely move things around, especially the finger up here. Heat them up a tiny bit. Even put them in your hand for like a minute. When you take them out of your hand, pretty much the fingers will loosen up a little bit for you. Now this is cool here. She comes with a second head, and this is her drunken head. And you can see the tongue hanging out. This is her flirty drunken head. Now she is a Oni, and she is the leader of the Oni on Mount Oe in Kyoto, and pretty much she lures people in using smells of fruits and alcohol, and then pretty much they don't know whether they're eating the people or making them as slaves or something like that, as servants, or turning them to their side. But this looks amazing there. The eyes look amazing, the mouth looks amazing, the teeth are painted, the tongue looks awesome. And again, you have over here is where you're going to put the head on. So when you have this little piece here, put this piece over the ball joint first and then slide this in afterwards, because if you just pop this in the head first, sometimes the head doesn't sit properly and it goes too low or too high. So pop this on first, and you can adjust how the head goes on, which is always a great idea for these kind of pointers. But yeah, that looks amazing. And of course you got the rooted hair, and she's got 2 heads on this figure, so very cool. And that is everything she comes with. Okay, here's the fun part. I want to show you this really quick. When you open up I was wondering where the pendant for the head went. Now when you move the bangs out of the way, you can see there's a hole right there. So the fun part now is get those bangs back where they're supposed to go. And it's rooted hair, so it's a little bit rough, but at the same time you can move them around a little bit. And then you have to take this little pendant here, and there's a little tiny point on there, and stick it into the head. So now the hard part, of course, is going to be about destroying the figure's hair, trying to find the exact spot this goes in. So I don't know a simpler way to do this. It's mostly just clearing a spot and then pretty much lining up the hole and trying to do it on camera at the same time, which is a little bit rough, and getting the thing in there. And it doesn't seem to be fitting in there that well. So that's cool, right? No, it's not cool. Let's move this around again, move the hair out of the way. It could be one little piece of hair in the way, and it could be all that's stopping it from going in. And then it's mostly in, so, and you're good to go. A little bit rough. Let's move the hair out of the way as much as possible. So, and you got 2 of these, one for each of the heads, so that's how you do it. Okay, this is definitely a Jiaou doll, because getting the hands off totally fracking sucks. You gotta pull as hard as possible to get those hands off, which is not fun. So to get those little sleeve covers on here, pretty much you gotta pop off some wrists, slide it on like the middle finger area, and these aren't like stretchy at all. So you pretty much have to like just manipulate this little piece around here, which is not too easy to do. I don't know what kind of magic you need to use to get these things on, but yeah, it's pretty much got to go around the wrist, and you got to pop this on. So I'm not sure if you should go around the wrist first. There's no instructions, of course, or anything like that, which is awesome. Who needs instructions when you can just, you know, break your toys? So you can pop this over here. I got this little plastic adjuster piece, and still no luck at all. So you can try sliding it over that way, and it's like kind of closer, but at the same time not happening. And again, if these things were like stretchy material, that would have been fracking awesome, but these are not stretchy material. These are just like thin crap. So you know what, don't really care and don't want to spend an hour and a half doing that, so throw those in the garbage. Bam. Alright, after a 10-minute struggle trying to get one of those things on the wrists, I pretty much gave up. This is definitely a Jiaou doll, because getting these wrists on and off is a real pain in the butt. You have to heat these hands up, like big time. Stick them in hot water. I put mine in front of like a space heater for a couple minutes just to get them on. If not, it's just trying to get the things off. Took me like 40 seconds to get the thing off. And getting it back on is impossible unless you heat it up. Once you heat it up, it just pops right on. Now this outfit looks amazing now too. Now the pendant on the head, again, not easy. It took me about 10 minutes to get this thing on. But get the dust off the face there. Now, I always recommend cleaning your figures. Is you get one of these horsehair brushes here. You can pretty much just get the gunk off your figure. So you brush like you're an archaeologist. You're, you know, uncovering some hidden stuff here very gently to get the gunk off your figure. Works all the time. Look at that head sculpt. That looks amazing. The eyes have like a purple tint to them. That looks really fracking cool. The lipstick is amazing. That is just awesome. And she's got the horns going on here. These are like fixed. They do not move. She has a small little piece on here in the neck, and the outfit looks amazing. Again, this is a anatomically correct female body, most likely a Jiaou doll, and of course these things are hard plastic and they tend to just kind of fall right off. As you can see, you pretty much have to keep adjusting and moving and smushing, and she doesn't seem to want to stay covered. I guess it's in her nature of her character. So it's not easy to keep those things on. Do the best you can and call it a day. And you got the belly button there. The outfit looks amazing. This kimono is pretty much like the back here. You can see these pieces on the arm. She has a wrap, and I have a little weird piece going on here. I might just cut that little piece off here. She has like this little piece going on here, and the back of the legs, it's like a metallic look, and she's got the ties at the feet. Now what's really cool is the back of this, the arms go down. There's little flaps from the kimono that hang off the arms, and you can see that right there. That looks really cool. So when you pop that over here, there's actually a design in there. So when she opens up her arms, she's got the whole design going on there too, which is really cool. And these are all just one big long piece attached to the inside of the hands, inside the arms. So very amazing figure. This also is a hard kind of plastic. It most likely comes off too. These straps feel very, very fragile. This is like almost like it's like a rubber bandish kind of feel. And she has these little armor pieces here, which are all these pieces here. This is a hard plastic. This one's a little more malleable. These Oni head horns move around a little bit too, which is cool. So you can reposition these things if you have to. And when you come down here, these are a little bit floppy. Those little leg armor pieces, they're held together by like a plasticky kind of stretchy material. Again, kind of weird. If you want, you can probably blue tack those into place to make them stay a little bit better, because they tend to flop around a little bit. And she's got the ties on the feet, and then she's got the hard plastic feet on this one, which is a good idea. The soft plastic ones are cool, but for the hard plastic one, you can have her stand on her own, which is cool once you reposition her, and pretty much she can stand on her own. She does not come with a stand with this figure at all, so pretty much you got to supply your own stand. But the outfit does look amazing. She looks just like the mobile game, and great job on this. Very cool. And again, with these figures, these are made of a medical grade silicone. So some people in hotter areas with more humidity, the bodies tend to sometimes crack in the arms and then bottoms of the legs and the knees. But if you keep your figure just not moving it too much, you can do any kind of bend you want with these figures, because it's a steel skeleton underneath there with the rubber over top. So you can pretty much make these things go almost every position that a human can go in. But at the same time, you have to be careful, because if you do bend them too much, they could crack. The good thing is you can't see, if it does crack, you won't be able to see anything crack underneath here, because she's got this cloth on. And the knees also, you won't be able to see anything crack there or back here, because she's got little boots that go all the way up to the top here. These little boot wrappings here also. So again, you're safe. This is a great looking figure. I definitely recommend it. I'm going to put her on a turntable and get a couple of her accessories on. This version of Shuten Doji is from the mobile game Fate Grand Order, and she is an assassin servant, and she's a mythical Oni demon. Now, this was based off of actual Japanese folklore in 8th century, but instead of having the story about men, which took place in the folklore, they replaced it with women in the game to make it more appealing to people, which is cool. It's a great idea. It makes sense. This figure looks awesome. Now, I believe the body they're using for this is a Jiaou doll 1/6 scale seamless female body. Now, these things are steel skeletons with medical grade silicone skin on top, so they feel real. Things squish where they squish, and it's a cool idea for a doll because it hides the joints. So that way it looks more like an action figure, but more realistic. So the joints are hidden, and you can pretty much bend these things any way you want. And of course, be careful. Some joints at the elbows can crack if you put them too much of an angle and leave them in that position for long. They can break through the silicone skin. It has happened on people's before, mostly in people with high humidity areas. I have never had it happen to me, luckily, so this is like my 5th body of one of these guys, and so far I'm super happy with it. The figure definitely comes with a lot of cool accessories from the game, and I love the second head sculpt you get with the Drunken head sculpt. It looks pretty awesome. Some of the painted above things on this figure do heat up the wrist a little bit. Even though it's a silicone, just put it a little bit near the heat so you can get the hand pegs off. The hands are really hard to get off these things. You feel like you're going to break the figure trying to pull these things off. And definitely heat the hands up a little bit before you put them on too, because it's really hard to get a hard plastic onto a metal joint if it's a little bit cold, or it's got to be heated up a little bit. And when the rubber heats up, it expands a little bit and becomes a little more malleable, and you can pop that thing right on. That's pretty much the sleeves for the fingers. Just, I can't get that on. You can try putting one on and then try sticking it over the wrist, but you have like 2 layers of material in there, and I don't see how that's going to go on well. You could try it. You can barely see the hands anyway when she's mostly covered up with her giant sleeves. So I'm digging on this figure. If you're into this game or just like mythical ancient style figures, this is definitely an awesome figure. It should be available at some places online still. Definitely grab it if you're into this. It's very fracking cool. Thanks so much for watching the video. Please hit that subscribe button. It helps out my channel big time. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and hit the bell notification if you'd like to be notified when more of my videos go live. And again, thanks so much. Please check out the description below for some more links to some more awesome figures. And thank you again until the next video.